Who is the most important team you'll ever lead? I remember being in the 75th Ranger Regiment and thinking that leading men in combat and complex operations overseas was the most important leadership position I had ever had and would ever have. And even after I left the military and went into the FBI or even launched Jenkins Group, I still looked back at that time frame and really was lacking confidence and really worth of myself because I was no longer leading men in combat, leading, anywhere between 40 to 150 men. And I felt because I wasn't doing that anymore in a very grandiose scale of leadership, that therefore I wasn't an effective leader. I wasn't even a leader anymore. And I didn't have any responsibilities of being a leader. And it really wasn't until 2017, until finally being diagnosed with PTSD and going through that journey of the healing journey, inviting Jesus into all the depths of me, which I've talked about before, but really evaluating my life and what it meant and what I was wanting to be as a person, who I was as a person, and evaluating all of those, traits and values and characters and really looking at that I determined I had missed the mark on what it meant to be a leader. I had missed the mark on what it means to lead any organization, not just a military organization, not just a professional organization. And I actually reevaluated what the most important leadership role I could ever be in. And what I determined was the most important team I could ever lead is my family, is my daughter and my son and my household and my wife and I collectively as the two leaders of the family. Until I was able to get that right, and until I was able to look at myself and evaluate myself and where I needed to improve, where I needed to grow, what my strengths are, what my talents were, but then really evaluating what my focus was, I couldn't be that leader that I needed to be. And I think that until we lead ourselves individually first, then can we start to make an impact in a bigger leadership responsibility and role. But until I lead myself and get that right and really focus on that, can I be a leader for my daughter, for my son, for our family in this house? If I can't get that right, then I really won't be able to get the other leadership areas of my life in the professional settings and the professional organizations that I could be a part of. And impact, I won't be able to get it, and I won't be fully committed to who I am as a leader until I get that right. So I think we need to focus more on leading ourselves, to steal Mike Irwin's point, lead yourself first, and focus on that, and then collectively look at our houses until I'm able to lead my son and daughter and know what that looks like. And I'm a work in progress on that, but at least I know, at least in my value system, that's the most important team I could ever lead, is that team right there. And if I don't get that right, what's it worth? What's it worth leading all these others or other organizations or everything else if I don't have that one right first? So that's the most important team I could ever be a part of and that I could ever lead. And I think that's the most significant. So I'd like to hear your feedback. I'd like to get your thoughts on who you think the most important team is that you could ever lead.